Hey dumplings, it's Dave Desai. We have a lot of drama today surrounding HYBE and V. We also have V addressing being used, which is very disappointing. And we also have Jin talking about things that make him feel exhausted and tired. So hater or not, make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on. Grab your dumpling, taste spilling mug merch, and let's get into it. I want to start with Jin and then we will move into the others. Jin recently has been doing his solo thing. After the recent military announcement, it was pretty interesting to see how Jin might be doing mentally. Now, while I do personally believe there is a sense of relief in getting the answer and then also a sense of pride in serving your country, it's difficult for me to imagine total happiness over this. As if you're someone with a lot going on like him and you thoroughly enjoy your work, it can be tough to think about letting all that go during your peak and not knowing when you come back, will there still be the same demand for you there? But armies will stick by for sure. But a lot of people were wondering if he was okay. Now, while Jin hasn't officially spoken out, I can definitely take this as a sign that he cannot be too upset. He seemed to be carrying on, and I believe he has mentioned of the several plans that he has for a possible new mixtape or whatever he is doing. So we are excited. HYBE will be dropping tons of new content and I can't wait to see them all. Jin's recent Bangtan Bomb episode was posted. If you don't know what this is, let me explain, and if you do, just bear. Grit your teeth and bear. Bangtan Bomb is a behind-the-scenes series that BTS does and usually is for concerts or big TV show appearances. They have a lot of these shows like their Festa and even their reality shows, which I do react to on my Patreon, BTS and many other groups, so if you're interested in the streaming party over there, I will link my Patreon below. But this new episode that came out was shocking because it didn't show a behind the scenes of a concert, but we got to see Jin at a movie premiere. This was for Hunt and Emergency Declaration. Jin talked about how these events actually make him more nervous than a concert, which is very interesting. I would much rather go to these events than stand in front of 100,000 people and sing. However, this is why Jin gets paid the big bucks. But at these events, while a lot of eyeballs are on you, it's not the entire event having their eyes on you like a concert would be. The event is doing their own thing, and there's so many celebrities at these events that people may not even notice you. So I would imagine someone as more introverted to prefer that. However, Jin during the episode talked about how he is very uncomfortable meeting new people, and even if it's someone that he has only met once, he has no problem seeing them again. So he has no issue with concerts as he has met a lot of armies over the years, and obviously he knows all of the members. I would also imagine concerts are easier as you don't have to come up with anything on the fly. So you don't have to make a decision on what to say in a conversation or what to do next. Everything is already rehearsed and you know exactly what you need to do and what is going to happen. Jin talked about how these events will make him feel exhausted and tired, but concerts do not make him feel exhausted or tired at all. And that is so sweet, and I think armies were super touched by this message. Of course, a lot of the fandom seemed super happy that HYBE was putting out this content for Jin, but seemed super annoyed at what was happening with V. The main issue with the fandom and how they talk about things is everything is super dramatic. Yet if you call them out on being super dramatic, then you're super dramatic and it's not that serious. However, when the fandom gets mad at something, the whole internet gets flooded with the same paragraphs copied and pasted that are saying the dumbest things ever. So what happened this time? Apparently, if you write in Google V's name in Korean, the top search results are of V and Jenny. So that is allegedly the only thing that comes up, which is weird to me how this was even discovered, because I don't know about you, but most people have either school or work, so most of their day is not filled with just Googling the members' names. We also get BTS content fed to us on our TikTok or YouTube feed. I can guarantee most of you watching have tons of BTS content on your feed, and thank you for clicking on this one. So there's never really a need to go into Google and find content about the boys. You get plenty of it literally served to you. But apparently someone Googled V to see this and was utterly shocked and sad. They apparently emailed Google to say that V is an artist and yet none of this Spotify or streaming thing was seen. Just these dating rumors. Google apparently got back and asked if this was a representative of V. So what a lot of agencies and PR teams can do for you is quote unquote clear the searches. So there'll be a person that will have contact in Google and change what pops up to hide unnecessary or bad things. However, V and Jenny dating rumors is really not a bad thing that I would see a company would need to spend thousands of dollars to try to hide. And yeah, people were upset that they were not taking action on this and getting rid of the content. I think these particular fans have too much time on their hands to be upset about something that doesn't really matter. Like, it's one thing to care and be upset, it's a whole other thing to be this upset that you're contacting Google and starting trends and getting mass people to send HYBE a protest and then getting getting these people to demand V leave HYBE and all this stuff. Like literally sit down. Like if HYBE wanted to, these are the people they can take legal action on. If HYBE's stock ever goes down because some people don't understand how the industry works and are making this into a huge deal, they can sue you. Also, because if I write V in Korean and English, I get his Spotify and YouTube accounts. So if Google is showing you the dating results, then that is likely because it's content you're watching excessively, and Google thinks that that is what you're searching V up for. And thus, why waste time showing you his Spotify or whatever? They're just going to show you what they think you want. Even Google's response is basically saying that if you're not someone who works with V, mind your own business. They're also acting like HYBE went in and made sure this dating rumor was the first thing. Literally type in any celebrity on Google, you'll also get mostly headlines. These Jennie and V headlines will literally go away once the world stops talking about it. It eventually is going to get old and gonna go away. If HYBE, who V has partial ownership of, was so annoyed by these rumors, then they'd say something. They don't care, and it's not actually a big deal at all. Every time I say it's not actually a big deal, rightfully so, there's a lot of people that say, but it is, and people get canceled for it. But what I mean is, it's not actually a huge deal. Like, it shouldn't be. So treat it like what it is, and everyone else will follow, and it won't be a big deal in the future. Now, when I say V probably isn't bothered by the rumors, I don't mean he likely very happy about it. I can imagine, regardless of whether he cares a lot about it, it definitely does affect him and Jennie, especially if they're not dating and Jennie is dating G-Drag. Notice how since the start of these rumors, Dispatch hasn't said a word. Does that feel weird to you? The company that literally usually exposes dating hasn't come out to confirm or deny or even provide more evidence? Yeah, that kind of tells you what's going on. V, during his recent Vogue magazine interview, talked about his feelings and really opened up, and a lot of people were shocked to hear what he had to say. He got really vulnerable with one of his responses, and he said, "I value human connection, I'm a social person, and I really enjoy working with everyone. I come across in my professional journey, including artists, directors, and writers, and journalists. In the past, I used to be more reserved because I had been hurt by people who treated me simply as a valuable asset to know and not as a friend." This was a clear answer to say that people have used him in the past, and this is perhaps calling out the people who have not been fair to him. I think we know that the boys get used for fame and money, but maybe hope that the boys stay ignorant to protect their mental health, as they don't ever actually need to know. Their team just needs to know, and their team can push the boys away from those bad people. However, it seems V is very aware, and that means he's definitely at times put his guard up to make sure that he is not being used. And I never understood this concept of using someone for fame, because if you stand next to someone famous, I don't understand how that helps you. If you don't actually have a talent, or you're not able to get people to watch you, because then you'll have a lot of followers but no views or likes on any post. But what do you think about all of this? How do you feel about V speaking out about how he gets treated in the industry? Is this a jab at HYBE or just the artists he has worked with? I think it's an artist thing, not a HYBE thing. And how do you feel about Jin not liking events? Let me know what you think, and make sure you check out my Patreon for more videos, link down below. Thanks, just lovely comment right here. Love you, bye.